Today we're going to read Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a beautiful and gentle queen. One cold winter day, she was sitting by the window with her needlework. When she pricked her finger, and 3 drops of blood fell on the snow outside. Unfortunately, 1 year later, the queen died. The king soon married again, and his new wife was beautiful, but also vain. Every morning, she asked her enchanted mirror. Each time the mirror replied, "You're the most beautiful with a doubt. No one is prettier than you hear about." Time passed, and one day the mirror said, "A girl whose sweet beauty is lovely and bright. She's prettier than you, and her name is Snow White." So the queen said, "I wish for a child with skin white as snow, hair dark as ebony that in the woods grows, lips red like blood that in my veins flows." Shortly after, the queen's wish came true, and she gave a birth to a lovely girl, white as snow, white blood red lips, and ebony black hair, and they called her Snow White. At these words, the queen lost her temper and immediately summoned one of the royal hunters. She ordered him to lead Snow White into the woods and kill her, then bring back her heart as proof of her death. With his heart brimming with sadness, the hunter lured the girl away from the castle with an excuse. When he lifted the knife to strike her, though, he couldn't bring himself to commit such an atrocity. So after confessing to Snow White the orders he had received from her wicked stepmother, he told her to run away and never come back to the royal palace. Then he caught and killed a wild boar, put its heart in a small box, and presented it to the queen, assuring that he had accomplished her orders. In the meantime, alone and helpless, Snow White wandered in the forest, with echo with wolves, howls, and birds' growls, not knowing where to find shelter. Finally, just before dusk, the girl reached a cottage. It was either the home of some children or of adults of every modest size, because everything was miniature. Snow White entered to the little door, left ajar, and found 7 small chairs, a round small table, laid with 7 tiny plates, 7 teeny forks, 7 miniature knives, and 7 minuscule spoons, all extremely tedious. Next page. Tired and hungry, Snow White looked for a place to rest, and found a bedroom with seven with seven little beds. There she laid and fell into a deep sleep. As soon as the owners of the house, Seven Dwarfs, got home, they saw the beautiful princess asleep on their beds. They didn't want to wake her, so they did watch over her until the morning. When she awoke, Snow White told the Seven Dwarfs her misadventures and asked them to host her. The small men agreed happily and swore that they would protect her from the evil queen. Cause what it may, days went past, and every morning after the dwarfs had left for the mines, Snow White swept, tidied the house, and cooked delicious supper for her benefactors. Unfortunately, though the enchanted mirror revealed that the Snow White was still alive, so she decided that this time she would get rid of the girl with her own hands. Disguised as an old woman, she knocked at the door of the dwarf's cottage, pretending to sell apples, and persuaded Snow White to try a poison fruit. After the bite, Snow White fell on the ground lifeless. When the dwarfs returned home, they thought she was dead. So, with deep sorrow, they laid her in a crystal coffin from which everyone could admire her. One day, a prince from nearby kingdom happened to pass by. Intrigued by the sweet beauty of the girl, he gave her a kiss immediately. Immediately, Snow White regained life. Much to the dwarf's jubilation, the prince, who had fallen in love at the first sight with the beautiful and mysterious girl, asked her to marry him, and she agreed with all her heart. The oblivious stepmother was invited to the wedding too. She put on her most expensive clothes, admired herself in her magic mirror, and asked, "Mirror all-knowing, mirror most beautiful, who in the kingdom is the most beautiful? To you, my fair queen, I have never lied more charming than you," is the lovely bride, it replied. So curious to meet her new arrival, the queen rushed to the castle where the wedding was about to be celebrated. There she realized that the bride-to-be was none other than her much hated Snow White. Livid with anger, the wicked woman left the hall and was never seen again, while the young princess and her beloved prince lived together happily for many long years. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I wish for a child with white skin as a snow. That is the lesson, and that is the story of Snow White. I hope you like it, and that's the end. Please don't forget to subscribe for more story. Bye-bye.